Aha. Welcome back. If you probably saw by the title, you know exactly what we're going to be doing today, or what we're going to be taking a look at. And yes, it is rather messy in here. I'm moving over to 2 new big servers, which there will be a video on, but it's taking longer than expected because IBMs and memory configuration it's not very fun. But today, we've got an Apple thing, which is unusual. I only have one Apple thing, and that's an iPhone. Well, and an Xserve, but that's dead, so it doesn't count. Today we are looking at this MacBook. This here is an Apple MacBook A1181 13-inch with no hard drive and no reserve, and I won it for 99p. If you're wondering why I'm not signed into eBay, it's because it shows a lot of personal information in the postage tab, which I just realised 30 seconds ago when I tried to film this. Now, I know what you're thinking, that postage is 20 quid. £12 of that got refunded. The seller down here says that they will, £20 is only a maximum amount. So in reality, we've spent about £8.99. As always, I'd usually go and pick these up and get it for that bang on 99p. Might be quite interesting turning up and giving someone £1, but that's how it goes. But if we're going off just the item price, this thing was 99p. I don't think anyone would ship it for just 99p with no postage because they'd be making a loss. So let's take a look at what we've got. Now here is the Mac. I've given it a quick clean because coronavirus. I kind of don't want to catch anything from it. Not that I probably could. The adapter I had to buy separately off Amazon. Apple do sell these, the MagSafe 1.0 stuff. But they wanted £75 for a charger. That's 70 times the cost of the thing. Or near enough if we include postage, but yeah, so I've bought this very explosive looking adapter from Amazon. I ordered it last night, it came today. That's pretty cool. It's got some dirt pre-installed on it. It's still in like a little plasticky wrapping, and it's quite interesting. It's got these little bits that poke out for some reason. I'm not sure what that's for, but yeah, we're gonna have a quick look at this thing. As mentioned in the listing, there is no hard drive, but I've got the world's fastest 100GB Seagate drive here. I think this is only like a 5400 RPM drive, but it'll do. It's SATA, which I'm assuming is what the Mac uses. It's got a bit of plastic on the bottom. Not sure why, but whatever. And the Mac itself, if we try and pop it open, it's actually not looking too bad. It's not an English keyboard, sadly. I think someone online said, I think it's a Portuguese keyboard is what they said it was, which is really interesting. And a lot of these models were these plasticky white ones. These were the normal ones for the 2006 era, so that sort of sets this guy as being a 2006. And I've just realised I forgot to bring my Snow Leopard disc in here, so I'll have to go and grab that. But there were some aluminium ones apparently as well, so I'll have to see if I can find one of them on eBay. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I've given the keyboard a good clean over just with a little cloth. It's in much better condition now. The screen itself as well looks all right. Doesn't appear to be any cracks. It's a little bit dusty, but you know what, for 99p, can you really complain? It does appear we have a tiny little webcam at the top. I believe Apple call this the iSight camera, so we'll have to maybe give that a test. I'm assuming the quality based on the size of it is going to be terrible, but you never know. And I/O wise, wow, what a different era. Check out all this I/O. And in comparison, this here is my Surface Pro X, which is pretty similar to, you know, modern Macs, I guess. If you have the little is it MacBook Airs they call them? You just get 2 USB-C ports and like your charger port, and that's it. So back in 2006, everyone wanted every port, and that's exactly what they got. We have the MagSafe 1.0 port. We have, I'm assuming, Gigabit Ethernet, might be 10100, we'll have to see. We have what I believe is a mini display port, or maybe mini DVI, I'll have to check on that. We have a FireWire/1394 port, 2 USB 2 as far as I'm aware. We have a headphone jack out and a line in. I'm assuming this one here is a Kensington lock. And then we have some normal Phillips screws for taking the thing to bits. Nothing around the port, around the front. We have what looks like an IR blaster. We'll have to have a look at that. And round the side we have what I believe is what Apple call a super drive or super disk. I don't know the differences. I'd love to tell you, but I really don't know. We can see the vents just around here as well. And they're actually looking pretty clean. Let's have a quick look on the bottom because it is limping a bit. Oh wow, that looks a bit battered. And we have, what does that say there? Disc screws. Cool. So that's how we're going to put our disc in, which I'm assuming is under here. Or is that our battery? I think that's our battery actually. Let's actually take this off. Let's get our disc screws. Oh, look at that. Interesting screw type. Which is really weird considering like the rest of this is just standard crosshead, but interesting. Well, I guess before we put a hard drive in, let's actually check if this thing works or not. It was sold as used and not for parts, so in theory, it should work. And we're going to need our brand new MagSafe charger. I say brand new, it's close enough, isn't it? It's a replica, but I think I'm going to pull all the plastic and stuff off this just in case. I know a lot of the times they have like plastic slits in them, which stops you just plugging it in without actually removing it first, and you can see there is a bit of a gap there. So I'm going to do that, and then we can test out this guy. I thought I was onto something with that plastic stuff, and I was right. There is actually like a little blue thing over this here, a little piece of tape. Cool. Charger complete. Let's go ahead and put that in down here, where this extension lead is totally safe and the best thing for it. Cool, that's in. And I guess it's looking pretty nifty. Let's plug it in. Now, I originally was going to buy a normal MagSafe charger, but apparently they are actually... MagSafe 1 and MagSafe 2 are very different. The middle pin is like an inch, is it like a fifth of an inch different or something stupid like that? Let's plug it in. Oh, hello. We've got a green LED there. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Cool. How do we tell if it's charging? Apple MacBooks are so foreign to me. I'm used to just using Surfaces and EliteBooks and Dell Latitudes and Vostros. I thought this was supposed to be a button, maybe not. Okay, that's fine. Let's just push the power button, I guess. We have a folder icon there, which means it doesn't detect an operating system. So what that means I'm going to have to do is figure out how I take this thing to bits and install a hard drive. Okay, we're getting there with it now. I'm on the iFixit website for the guide for the Mac, and I've just pulled out the tab, and that has given me this. And that has revealed as well, looking inside, that the power connector is on the right, which means the drive needs to be installed like this. I've dug up a 240 gig SSD. I had issues with my server reading this. The new servers, they seem to be quite picky about drives as well, so I don't know if this drive actually works or not, but we'll find out. The memory in this thing also seems quite easy to upgrade. I've no idea what's currently in it. We'll find out when we install good old Snow Leopard. Dug up my disk for that when I was working on the iMac the other day, which, if I've not released already, that will be released next. Got a big iMac for a very cheap price. Same era as this, I believe. But yeah, so these 4 drive screws are actually really good. I'm surprised they didn't tape them to this cover there. It would have made more sense to put them on this cover than it would sticking to the bottom, but I guess it makes us aware that we have them at least. So yeah, I'm going to get this drive installed. Pop it all back in. And then I think we're good to go. So this is interesting. I've screwed it all back together, but the RAM covers aren't flat. There's some like protective film or something over them that they're sticking out a little bit. I've tried going over it with a flathead a few times just to sort of press it in, but it doesn't want to go in all the way. It's most noticeable over here. You can see where it's just popping over. But yeah, not too sure about that. However, I've installed the SSD, so we have a 240 gigabyte Kingston drive. That doesn't seem to sit very flush either. Great. That's fine though. I'm just going to use a PCI bracket because I don't have a coin to hand. There we go. That's all locked in place now. And that means we are now ready to test again. So, I read online, apparently we have to hold the Alt key when we're booting to get to like a boot menu. So we can try that. MagSafe is in. It's gone green, cool. Let's pop open our laptop and hold the Alt key. We'll try and do that one-handed. Well, there was a little Mac chime then. That's pretty neat. So I've held the Alt key. We now have a cursor. We grab our Snow Leopard disc. I couldn't find anything past Snow Leopard on disc. I got, like, apparently these support up to like Lion or something like that. And couldn't find that there. Is this supposed to show anything? Okay, here's our disc. Let's pop our disc in, I guess. Please don't eat the disc. That disc, no joke, was like 20 quid. Mac OS X install DVD, nifty. I take it we should see a hard drive option here, despite there not being a operating system installed on it, because it have Windows, but... Oh boy. That's why we love optical drives. They make really satisfying noises, just knowing that your disc is being shredded to bits in there. A screen. Mac OS X. This is the Snow Leopard installer. You can tell because of that beautiful wallpaper that I love quite a lot. It's preparing installation. Choose an option from the menu above. Utilities, that's what we want. Disk utility. Just thinking about it. Balls. That means that SSD really is dead then. Okay, that's fine. Cool. I will put the 100 gig one in. That's a shame. I thought it was just that server that was being picky with it, but maybe it really is dead. Can we see about this Mac? Oh, we can't. Literally, just as I pushed stop recording, this screen popped up. It's called MacBook, which is pretty accurate. We have a Intel Core 2 Duo, 2 GHz, so it must be a base one. We have 3 GB of memory, 4 MB of L2 cache. Yeah, nothing on ATA, so that means our SSD is dead. Oh well. Audio, we have audio, that looks like it's working. Bluetooth, oh, we have Bluetooth. Cambridge Silicon Radio. Nice. Diagnostics, passed. The DVD drive. No fiber channel, we have FireWire, yep, 400 megabits per second. So we have Intel GMA 950 graphics, 64 megabytes of VRAM, and we have 2 display connectors apparently. I only see that mini one there. Maybe there's some other thing you can do with it, or maybe one of them's the internal display. We don't have any hardware RAID, that's fine. Memory, okay, so we have a 1 gig stick and a 2 gig stick. Both 667 megahertz. Cool. PCI cards, I don't have any. No SCSI. Power. Oh, it's not even detecting our battery at all there, look, is it? Okay, so we'll need to get a new battery for this thing. No SAS. No serial ATA. Oh, well, it's there, but it's not detecting anything. 1.5 gig, yeah, so maybe an SSD isn't really the best thing for this anyway. So we have an Apple internal keyboard. We do have infrared. We have Bluetooth and built-in eyesight. And that's going over USB. We have Airport, Ethernet and FireWire. So I'm assuming Airport is our Wi-Fi card. We don't need that. Modems, volumes, software. 10.6.3. I don't think any of the rest of that is going to be very useful, is it? Okay. In theory, if the battery's dead, it just means we can do that. Nice. Right, I'm going to pop this thing open again and let's get a hard drive in. I've plugged a hard drive in now. I don't hear it though, so I don't know if it's working or not. I'll wait for the install DVD to load, but I'm not convinced. And that MagSafe light has gone off again. It was off when I plugged it in after putting the hard drive in, and it's just gone off again now. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but I don't know, man. This is why you don't buy cheap replacement adapters, isn't it? But I wonder if maybe the SATA port inside this thing has come loose, and maybe when I'm putting the drive in, it's not going far enough in to where it's actually making contact. It certainly feels like it's going in, like it goes in all the way. It doesn't feel like anything's stopping it. But yeah, strange. I guess I'll see when it loads up. Hooray! It's worked. The disk. Our little 100 gig Seagate that's very, very, very slow, I assume. Oh my god, it shows up. And it's unformatted apparently, so that's interesting. I don't know if we can get any more information about it, but I'm going to do arrays, and we're going to call this 99p. Can we put a dash in? We can. MacBook. That also confirms that our keyboard works too, which is nice. So that's all we want. We don't want any encryption or anything, so let's just erase it. So I was waiting for disks to reappear. And I assume once this is complete, it'll put a partition on it. Or at least I hope it will. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So now we have a partition called 99p MacBook. Let's see if we can install macOS. So we're going to push continue. Did I push continue? There we go. We have the huge terms that everyone definitely reads all the way through. And there we go. 99p MacBook. Cool. I'm going to leave that to install now. I think it's probably going to take a long time. Okay, I thought it froze then. I was like, oh god. But yeah, no, I'll let that do its thing. Well, it's been about half an hour and I've just come back. And one thing I noticed when I came back is I forgot the back of these Macs. They actually light up. How cool is that? I really liked this era of Macs. They're pretty cool, although I definitely prefer the aluminium ones, the ones that have a bit more of a sturdy base rather than the plastic. But yeah, I spoke to a few friends as well, and apparently the fact that this isn't orange means that it isn't charging the battery, but it is quite warm here. Ah, right, yeah, that's on the other side, so that's where the hard drive is and not the battery. So yeah, that's cold. So we will need to get a new battery for this thing, but that's fine. As I've literally just come back in, there was no welcome video playing, so I think we may have missed that. So it says, welcome. In just a few steps, you can register and set up your Mac. You can also sign in for a MobileMe subscription. Apple's premium internet service, which lets you easily share photos and files online, create a website, sync important information, and much more. Cool. Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's very optional, does it? So let's go down to UK, which is where we are now, and push continue. We'll go for British. This isn't actually a British keyboard, but I'd rather it have the layouts, because I'm not sure where all of the other keys are going to be. But, we'll push continue. Let that apply the key map. We don't have another Mac to transfer from, so that's fine. Okay, I've popped that in. We're going to try a 5 gigahertz one, although I don't know how strong the connectivity is going to be here in the garage because everything is usually wired. And I'm a bit silly because we actually have Ethernet right here. If it'll reach, there we go. It looks like it goes in the correct way up. Doesn't appear to be any LEDs on it. Oh, and it wants my Apple ID now. If you don't have an Apple ID, just click next. Okay, well let's do that because I don't think it's even going to let me sign in. If you don't want to send your personal information, just click continue. Cool. Nice. We can do that. Password provided. Let's see if it makes it. Well, that proves the camera is working then. And it actually looked like it was half decent quality. So yeah, I'm not sure why the green light for it is still on though, considering I've just done choose a default one. We're likely going to be wiping this anyway when it gets upgraded to Lion. So yeah, it's a fair amount of pictures to pick from in there. I don't think it really matters what we go with. Select time zone, well that's fine. Your Mac is set up and ready to go. You can back up your computer, browse files with cover flow. No idea what that is. Email with style. Wow. Chat using effects and backdrops and organize your work. Nice. Now, I don't know if I'll have uploaded the iMac video by this or not, but it had problems with the GPU, which means none of the visual effects would really work very well. But hopefully, with this being a properly functioning one, we do. Oh, look at that. I definitely think the screen resolution on this is a lot less than the other one, just based on the size of the bar there. Yeah, no batteries available. Power source, power adapter. Okay. And one thing that I don't have on the other one is an eject button on the keyboard. Apparently if you push that, it will just eject the disc. Or it's supposed to. Do I need to hold it? There we go. Cool. Pop that over there. And here we go. Let's have a look about this Mac. 10.6.3, 2 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo. 3 gigs of RAM. See, it's a lot faster now that we're actually installed. Bluetooth is working. Wi-Fi is connected at the top. That's nice. Cool, yeah, and we have a 1280 by 800 32-bit LCD. Not bad. I mean, I think 1280 by 800 is a little bit small, but you know what? It's still usable. Let's see if dashboard lags. It doesn't. It's a lot better than what the iMac was doing. And we have all of our software down here. Finder, dashboard, mail, Safari. A whole lot. Nice. Cool. How do we... Okay, there we go. Quit. Nice. I guess I should just let it do updates now because there's probably going to be a lot of them waiting to be done. Oh, software updates are available. Let's have a look what we got. iLife support. Very nice. Let's do that. 1.28 gig. It's going to take a long time to do that. Oh well, I'd say overall, this Mac is functional. It's working. I don't know how I wonder if our screen brightness, does that work? Okay, so that is as bright as it goes. Oh wow, that's virtually off, isn't it? You can just see it. Speakers. They're all working very nicely. Yeah, I'm happy with this. 99p. I'll not argue with that, and I just still really like this era of them where you had the light up Apple logo. You definitely knew someone had an Apple product in a cafe when you saw that lit up. Very cool. But oh well, I'm going to let this thing do all of its updates, get it onto Lion. I also spoke to a friend who said the reason why our SSD might have not worked if it isn't dead is because if this is SATA 3, the Mac only supports up to SATA 2. and it doesn't appear to be backwards compatible. So yeah, maybe I'll try and get an older Intel SSD or an OCZ one or something. The recommended amount is 30 gigabytes for Lion, so certainly possible. But it might be a squeeze if we've got updates that are like this, that are 1.28 gigabytes. And bear in mind, this is the first round of updates. When I did the iMac, I think there was a good 4 or 5. But yeah, overall, I'm nice and happy with this. And it looks like the new version of Mac's fan control doesn't work with this Mac because we need 10.13. Lovely. Oh well, I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm going to have a play around with this Mac. See you later.